good day, Meticulous Moments audience. We are so glad that you have joined us for another exhilarating session here at the Meticulous Moments podcast, where we facilitate community upliftment through leadership development. And today we have the wonderful privilege of interviewing Mark Vallint for the second time. We had such a wonderful session, and Mark, really is such an inspiration to us all that we are going to delve a little bit more deeper into his martial arts journey. And I'm going to read you his bio. He's here with me in the green room before we bring him on. Mark writes, I began my fitness and martial arts journey at a very young age. It has been and will continue to be a massive and important part of my life. I began the journey learning Wado Ryu karate a few years later. I then began to learn Akido before starting my journey in Taekwondo, going on to becoming an instructor. I've attended and done multiple seminars, competitions, including national and world level competitions, and have been inducted into multiple national and international Hall of Fames. I also hold a world record for a 250 kilogram wall sit with Record Breakers and Record Holders Republic. The fitness and martial arts journey will continue for many, many more years. And with that, we're going to bring our special guest into our studio here, right from the green room. Welcome, Mark. How are you?
Welcome, and thank you very much for having me once again. It's a privilege and an honor. I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing so well. Thank you. You are such a wonderful brother and friend to me. And, just getting to know you, I've realized that you are very tenacious. You're very dedicated. And tell us a little bit more about that choice that you made in your life to be an athlete and to never, never give up and to really just to challenge yourself every day on a new level.
It's like this journey for me started many, many years ago. I was only very, very young. So as a young boy, I was being bullied at school and just sort of being bullied in general. And it was my mum and dad that said to me, we should get you into some form of sort of martial arts.
Yeah.
And then it was my dad that took me to my first ever martial arts class, and it was a karate class. I was only young, and my dad took me, and basically it all sort of went from there. And then when I was about 12 or 13, this is a bit further on from the karate, but at the age of 13, I joined up my first gym. I started training there. And basically it all sort of come from those early days, both the martial arts and the gym. And a big part of me choosing that path was basically it was basically given to me by my mum and dad, encouraging me to take up martial arts, to not just learn to sort of defend myself, but also to improve my confidence and my overall fitness. Fitness, flexibility, discipline, dedication, all those small things that we get from doing the training that we do.
That's it. That's the truth. And that really sets us up for the rest of our lives, for our careers, to think in a certain mindset, to move and to live and breathe in a certain way, because martial artists, we breathe in a different way as well. We meditate and we really go deep into the art of aligning that body, soul, and spirit of ours. So I want to ask, the last time we spoke in your interview, you talked about the morals and the values that you've learned in the martial arts, discipline being one of them. Would you just like to recap a little bit on what morals and values martial arts has instilled in your heart?
My martial arts has given me so much confidence and so much like discipline. Not only just basic disciplines like basic like etiquettes, but it's also given me that sort of mental like toughness to
Yeah.
never quit when things get hard. To
Yes.
keep going, to keep sort of pushing forward, keep pushing for that next level, that to keep that journey going, even though it's hard and you may uh, have a few like obstacles along the way. You might drop into little dips and find things like difficult. It's always taught me that never to quit, because you never like sort of out the fight. You're always in the fight. You've always got to keep pushing
Yes.
forward, and it's taught me just never to quit. And that's the biggest thing that it's taught me, that mental toughness to never give
Toughness.
up, to keep moving forward, even when times people go through it, when times seem really hard and you're down at that bottom.
Yeah.
It's taught me to keep moving forward. So yeah, it's given me an awful lot of like mental like toughness.
That's the absolute truth, and I keep saying to everybody that I meet, that I'm busy coaching, and the people that I work with, in certain projects, and people on interviews as well. These wonderful guests that we have, and it's general knowledge that these martial arts importations that we receive, this drive, this discipline, and the lessons, and the fact that we don't give up, this strong mindset is not only limited to the dojo. We
No,
take that
no,
into work, we take that into family, we take that
yeah,
into even when we are taking a break, when we are
yeah,
relaxing or spending time with family. And
yeah,
that's what's so lovely for me personally about the martial arts. It's something that really, it changed the DNA of my entire life. It changed the way I think, it changed the way I do things, and I'm very appreciative of that fact. And it's fun to study the art, and it's fun to discover new things about ourselves. Now, you and I have spoken about some training videos that you've sent me, and
yeah.
you train excessively, and I would like to play a video and then for you to explain what that exercise is, what the purpose is of that type of training, because there's many people in the audience that would love to know that information, and to learn and grow in that experience of theirs. So I'm going to play a video, and then you can explain to us. Good day, Mikesh. We appreciate you joining us here. Absolutely stunning. One of my LinkedIn contacts. So I'm going to play the video, and then you can explain to us what the type of training is that you do in that video, and what's the purpose of exercising that muscle group. Let's go into the first one.
Yeah.
Now that's quite a high kick, Mark. Tell us more about that kick.
Okay. So, this was actually done through a friend. It's actually a gentleman who that I used to teach when I was teaching like the martial arts,
Yeah.
and this gentleman run DIY uh, sort of stall in the
Oh,
marketplace.
yeah.
And basically, what happened was is I went down just to sort of say hello to him. I'd not seen him for a few years after he uh, left like the training,
Yeah.
And I went down just to sort of say hello. Anyway, I went down, and he says, "Am I still training?" I said, "Of course I am. I'm always like training." And that particular video there, it was just like a random off the wall moment where we got this. I think it was a can, like a Coke can or something. And I said, "Put this on your head and I'll kick it off."
Yeah.
And anyway, he put it on his head, and he said to me, "Which way you're going to kick?" I said, "I'm going to do a turning kick, like a
Yeah.
roundhouse kick."
Yeah.
And he said, "Okay." So I got him to turn around so he couldn't see the kick like coming. That way,
Otherwise,
people,
you'll go.
when you see my legs coming towards them, they tend to flinch. And I didn't want him to flinch
The can will
because
fall.
obviously it can affect my kick. So
Yeah.
I turned around and I put the can on top of his head,
Yeah.
and I did like a warm-up kick first. So I kicked and I
Yes.
missed it, and then I kicked again and I kicked
Yeah.
it off his head, and he was just like, "Wow, that's incredible." And it's just it's just a two-part thing, you know. He was very trusting in my sort of abilities, and I was very
Yeah.
careful that I had to get this kick
That you don't kick him
perfect.
in the head.
Yeah, but everybody knew. Everybody was sort of in the market, and they all just stopped to watch, and
Yeah.
everyone were like, "Wow, that's brilliant." Yeah.
I do want to say to the audience, please don't try this at home. Please try it in the dojo, in the gym, because it looks easy. You might just kick someone in the face
No, no.
or on the head. So I'm gonna, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go to the next video, and then you can explain to us what you were doing in that video.
Go. There you go. Fast in it. Fast in it. Come on. Keep powering it. Come on. Power through it, man. Power through it. Keep going. All the way to the wall, man. All the way to the wall. Come on. Keep going.
So tell us, Mark, what is that exercise called? I know, but for the audience, tell us what's that exercise called and what is
Okay,
it
so
for?
this is some of the current training with my PT, Matthew Woolley, the guy that I currently train with now. This PT, this man is absolutely awesome. So massive shout out to Matthew Woolley from MW Fitness. Anyone wants to check him out, Instagram, Facebook, check this guy out. He's an awesome PT, 100%. Yeah, so that exercise there is a sled push. Basically, sled push, you know, this is about increasing your strength. It's also very good cardio like exercise. And basically, a sled can be used in two ways. It can be used as a push and a pull. So that one there was a push. So this is basically just using that leg power, that explosive leg power, putting one foot in front of the other, quite a bit of weight on there, and it's basically just getting that weight to move, and it's just using that explosive power from the legs, from the shoulders, getting down and leaning into it and getting that weight moving, and it really does help increase your power,
Yeah.
increases your strength, and if you do
Stamina.
it enough and you mix it with something else, it's great
Yeah,
for cardiovascular fitness too. So yeah,
that's it.
great exercise, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. And tell me, how many kilograms do you suggest a beginner should put on this?
You know, it's like each sort of to their own sort of ability. You know, I can't speak for like everybody because everyone's at a different levels. So like what I would say is, you know, like I started off. I think I started off with like maybe 30 kilo, and
Yeah.
it's just a process of building. you know, and the more you do it, the sort of better you get at it. But then you've got to keep pushing forward. You've got to set new goals. So when 30 became easy, I tried 40, and then we tried 60. You know, it just sort of built up. But like how that worked for me is like Matt would basically mix it with other things, so it wouldn't be just doing that. We'd do it with like an assault bike or a ski like machine, which you will see later, sort of later on. So we'd sort of mix it with like other things, and it is absolutely fantastic for leg strength and increasing that cardio. So yeah, but I would say anyone that's gonna start doing them, start off light and just you know,
Yes,
not to become
always.
that comfortable, increase that weight bit by bit, and you will only get better.
That's the truth. You start, you know, at a beginner's level because it's
Yeah,
a journey. It's a process. If you start with if you start too heavy, it's going to, you know, either cause you an injury or you're going to have a lot of pain,
yeah.
and you're going to give up. Ultimately, be kind to yourself. Be gentle and start off small and slowly because
And
that's the
also,
way
there's
to
that
build.
many ways that you can use that piece of kit. So you can use it for just like power and strength, where you're just
Yes,
going to use that and do like your maximum weight for push or pull, or you
yes.
can mix it with like other things. So you can maybe do like the assault bike first, and then go on to that. So there's lots of different ways to use it, which may sort of affect how much weight you actually have on there. So yeah, there's lots of different ways.
Lots of variables. I agree with you. And I want to ask you about stretching before we go to the next video. Stretching is so important, you know, before and after a workout because you might feel 110%, but you never know when that muscle, you know, is going to, you know, get sprained or if you tear a
Yeah,
ligament. So
yeah.
tell us a little bit more about stretching.
Okay, so stretching. Stretching is so important. People do not realize how important flexibility is. Not
Yeah.
just to maintain your basic movement and good posture, but it's also important to be a part of your warm up. That way, you're not gonna when you start exercising or lifting weights or sort of whatever, you're not gonna you're at less of a risk of like pulling or tearing a muscle.
That's
But
it.
also stretching and flexibility training will help you with your like recovery. So
Yes.
it's going to make you recover faster from
Yes.
that exercise. So when people say I've been out for a long run and I've got DOMs, if you do your flexibility training after your run, it will really help you to relieve those DOMs that might not be as bad. So like flexibility is so important, not just before your training, but make sure you do it after your
After.
training. Now, there's many different ways of doing flexibility training. So you've got static, you've got ballistic, then you've got more advanced ones like PNF. Now, for those of you
Yes.
that don't know what PNF means, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. Okay, now PNF is a very advanced form of flexibility training. Basically, you do need a partner. Basically, how it works is if you're stretching your like adductors, your inner leg, you would open
Yeah.
your legs, you push to the point where you feel a stretch. Your
Yes.
partner would hold your legs there, and then you would push against them using
Yes.
20% of your power. You push
Resist.
against them,
Yeah.
and you count to 10. So nice and slow, 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10, and then you relax. You take a deep breath, and your partner will push you a little bit further, and you
Yes.
repeat that process up to 4 times. And what that does, that increases the length of your flexibility. So if you're stretching your adductors for kicking, okay, you will find over a few weeks, you'll be able to kick a little bit higher. So it really does help you, not just in terms of mobility and movement, but it also helps you recover from exercise, and it will also benefit you with your martial arts.
That's the truth, because flexibility is very important in martial arts. And I had an interesting discussion with someone this week about, stretching your hip flexors, because your hip flexors not only influence your hips and your, your lower, your lower back, it also influences your upper back if your hip flexors are not stretched out. So how important is that? Do you do hip flexing exercises?
The whole body, from your back all the way down to the lower part of your legs, it's so important. People don't realize how much you use your back muscles when you walk. Even walking, you're using your back and your core. So, like, me as a martial artist, I do a lot of kicking. So, like, I'm always using my back and my core, my legs. So it's very important that I keep all those muscles, that lower back. So things like my QL, erector spinae muscles, my glutes, my piriformis, my hamstrings, my adductors, my abductors, my hip flexor muscles. Okay, all those things need to be kept loose and mobile and to the full range. So if any of them start to get tight, that's going to affect me as a martial artist. I'm not going to be able to kick as well. And it may lead to like injury. So I do tend to encourage people to do lots of flexibility training, particularly from the back down. 100%.
Yeah. That's it. That's the truth. And I agree with you completely. Stretching before and after. Oh, I'm on. Can you hear me now? I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
I've lost sound.
Oh. Maybe just mute and unmute. I think your phone, I think there was a message coming through. Let's give Mark a moment. But it's so true what he says, exercising before and after really reduces, that stiffness that sets in, and it helps you actually in your techniques in martial arts. So very
important. My sound. I can't hear you.
Just go out and come back again.
Yeah.
Go out and come back again.
I go out and come back.
That's it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mark. Very true. Stretching is so important, and it's something that's time consuming. So for the martial artists out there, I'm sure they do it already. For people that are maybe just joining the gym or want to go on a fitness journey, make sure you work that into your schedule. It is extremely important that you look after yourself and listen to your body. There are days that sometimes I feel under the weather, and then I listen to my body and I don't go to the training that I wanted to go, or to the exercising session that I wanted to go to. Listen to your body. It's very important that you listen to your body. And yes, you also have to stretch your abdominal muscles. You also have to stretch your rectus abdominal muscles. And those are the two muscles that form the six-pack. You have to stretch from head to toe to avoid injury. So we're just waiting for Mark to come back. And while we wait for Mark to come back, I'm going to play some of the exercise videos that he sent us and that he will explain as soon as he's back. Oh, here it just popped in. Just talking about you, Mark. Can you hear me now?
Sorry about that. I lost all sound, all picture, everything.
It happens. Don't worry about it. I was just gossiping about you. No, I'm just kidding. I was explaining how important stretching is and listening to your body. I was saying to the audience, some days I wake up and I feel a little bit under the weather, And then I listen to my body and I don't go train that day. Then I just stretch and I look after myself. It's very important that you listen to your body. I know we all have this drive and this passion to just go it every day. Sometimes you have to just take a day of rest, and tomorrow, you are better. So I want to go over, Mark, to the next video. And then I would like for you to explain to the audience what that exercise is and what muscle groups it exercises. Let's play.
Nice, nice, nice. Come on.
Okay,
So we've got a bit of rowing on going there. Tell us what muscle groups are you exercising there?
Okay, so that machine is a ski machine. It's basically a cardiovascular workout. Basically that's the whole body. The whole body's working there. The legs, the core, the back, the arms, the shoulders. Everything is getting used. And basically what we do is we use that for distance or for EMONs. For those of you that are not sure what EMONs are, but it means every minute, like on the minute. So you might do a certain amount of meters or a certain amount of calories in that minute, and you have to hit that sort of number. But that particular machine there is a great cardiovascular workout, and you'd be surprised going up and down like that.
Yeah.
Constantly bending the body. It gives your core a right workout. It's a great exercise, absolutely. It's great, great for your fitness, great for your endurance. It's just an all-round workout. It's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. And you're mentioning something very important that I don't think that people realize, and that's that your core is really at the center of it all. It's so
Yeah.
important to stretch and exercise your core, because that's where it all starts. Now, I'm not talking about, I know it's lovely when people want to have a six pack and they want to do this, they want to go on this fitness journey and want to tone down. I'm talking martial arts. I'm talking general posture, your health. It all stems from your core. So tell us a little bit more about your core exercises that you do. You've mentioned that this rowing exercise is good for your core. What else do you suggest to audience members employ into their exercise routine?
Most exercises that people do, people don't realize that most of the exercises that they do inside the gym, you're using your core.
Yeah.
Now, what I say is like, when people do like deadlifts, squats,
Yes. Yeah.
lunges, running, ski machine, rowing, when you're doing a shoulder press, all those exercises, people do not realize what you're using your core to do those exercises. Using your core is not always about doing like sort of sit-ups and all that sort of stuff. Okay, they're specific to the core. But what people don't realize is when you're doing other exercises like deadlifts, shoulder presses, squatting, lunges, running, ski machine, slam ball, all those exercises where you think, I'm using my shoulders, I'm using my legs. Yes, you are, but you're also using your core. And this is what people don't realize. Your core, you use it all the time. Even when you're walking, you're using your core. And I say to people, if you want good abs, focus on your core no matter what exercise you're doing. Focus on what you're doing, but also focus on using your core. If you use your core and your core is strong, your exercise will also be strong. So like an example, deadlifts. When I do deadlifts, it's so important that I keep my back straight, because if my back's arched, I'm going to pull it. So I have to engage my core to keep my back straight and drive through my legs. So
True.
yeah, you use your core no matter what. But exercises that are good for your core, things like slam ball, the ski machine, like
Yeah.
sit up. But I say to people, mix it up. So don't
Yes.
just focus on doing sit-ups, because eventually your body will adapt to those
Yes.
sit-ups.
It
And
won't
those
have an
sit-ups
effect.
won't do as much for you. So you
That's it.
have to put the body out of its comfort zone by doing it, by doing something else. So maybe adding a slam ball in there. So you're doing like slams, and that up and down motion, you're constantly using your core again. So those people that say to me, I want good abs, and how do you get good abs and all this stuff? Everything you do, use your core, and you will get good abs. Like when we do kicking, we're using our core, and people don't realize that to be good at exercise and to be good at kicking, you have to have a good
Yes.
core. 100%.
That's it. I agree with you. You know, even if you do mountain climbers, you're using your core. Because I like to mix up the exercises. I'll do sit-ups and plank in 6 inches, and then I'll do, mountain climbers, and then I can feel that it's working on my core muscles. So that's very, very important.
And one of the
Hey?
great exercises for your core, and also great for fitness, which everybody hates, burpees.
Oh, I hate burpees.
Burpees. You know what? I do a little challenge with burpees. I do a
Oh,
1 minute challenge. As many, sorry, not 1 minute, 7 minute. So
yeah.
we do a challenge called 7-minute burpee.
Woo,
Now,
that's long.
my personal best right now is 91 burpees in 7 minutes. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of
Yeah.
burpees. Just
Now
explain to the
you
audience
have
what a burpee is.
core,
Yeah,
how
it's
much
definitely
core
for
and
core.
shoulders you're using.
Yeah. Yeah, this burns and your core burns and
Yeah.
also your glutes, because you have to get up every time, jump, go down, do the push up. Just explain to the audience, for those who don't know, maybe there's someone that doesn't know what a burpee is. Explain to them what a burpee is. It's quite hectic.
Okay, so basically, a burpee is basically you're gonna squat down. So you're gonna squat down, bend your knees, squat down, put your hands on the floor. You're gonna then
Yeah.
keep your feet out behind you. Then you're gonna bring them back in, and then you're gonna jump up, and then do a little jump, and then do that same process over and over again. And that is a basic burpee.
That's a basic burpee. Yeah.
And basically, people hate them, but they are a great exercise. They will
It's
get you.
full body.
Yeah,
That's full
absolutely
body.
full body workout. Full body workout.
I'll just tell you, I can't imagine doing 91 burpees, after each other. I mean, that little jump in the beginning is so easy. By the time you get to 20 or 30, my goodness, it takes a lot of vigor and courage to do it.
Also, like another exercise that I do is something called a wall walk. I don't know if
I don't know that one.
Basically, you lay on the floor with your feet against the wall.
Yeah.
And then what you do is you walk your feet up the wall while walking your hands back. So you end up doing like a handstand against the wall.
I'm going to try that.
That's a great core workout too.
I think we have a photo of you doing that. Or was that a handstand? Because we have a photo of you
with a thumbs up. Yeah.
Yeah. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. No, burpees are excellent. They are full body, absolutely. And you're going to feel it the next day. So listen to Mark, do your stretching after you've done them. I wouldn't suggest trying 91 at once, but, build up. I'm going to go into the next video, and then you can tell us what you're doing in that video and what muscle group it exercises.
Tight, back tight. Let's go, come on. Legs. Use them legs. Guide feet for the floor, come on. Push them feet, come on. Oh. Tight. There you go. Nice. It's there, mate, it's there.
Okay,
Maybe
so
I should unmute myself. So there we go.
that exercise there is called a deadlift. Now, a deadlift, it's great for power and strength. And again, this all comes back to core, engaging your core, keeping your core tight, back straight, driving through those legs. So basically, you're going to use all the lower part. You're going to use your glutes, your hamstrings, your quads, your calves. Everything's going to be engaged. You're driving, you're pulling. And this again, it's pulling, but it's also engaging those legs. It's using them quads to pick that weight up. And then basically, a deadlift is great for strength. It's great for increasing power, explosive power. It's a great all-round exercise because you're using your legs, your back, your core, your shoulders, your arms, even your forearms, because you're gripping that bar. You know, I don't know what weight's on that bar, but it looks a lot. And I reckon there's about 90k there. But when you lift 90k for so long, you're gonna start to use your forearms.
Yes.
100%. But it's all about that explosive power coming up, boom, and just keeping that core tight and using your legs, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, everything, your core. Great exercise.
I absolutely agree. And we're talking about the mechanics, the body mechanics of exercising, of training.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing personal training with someone, you have to know what you are doing. What are the mechanics? What's the purpose of what you're doing? And how to do it so that you don't hurt yourself. Now, I want to ask you to explain to the audience about the mechanics about doing a deadlift. How are you to position your feet, your arms, your hands? Because many people think if people have big biceps, they are very strong. Big biceps does not mean someone is strong. It means they've exercised that muscle. If you want to see if someone is strong, you need to look at the forearm, because that's where you'll see if that person is really strong or not. So tell the audience about how the mechanics of a deadlift works.
So how? First of all, you have to understand how to do a deadlift properly. This is where people fail. To get a good deadlift, you need to have good technique. So, most important thing is that you stand with your feet shoulder width apart. Okay, your toes want to be underneath the bar. Okay, and when you squat down to pick the bar up, the bar wants to be, when you're driving that bar up, when you're pulling that bar up, the bar wants to stay as close to your legs as you can without touching your legs. But it wants to be as close to your legs as you can get it. Now, it's really important before you begin that lift that you keep your back in a neutral position, as in your back is straight, it's not arched. Okay, you don't want an arched back. It wants to be straight. And then you want to be looking up. So your head's forward, you're looking up, and you're not looking down because you'll start to pull on your neck. You want to be looking up. So everything is, your spine is in a neutral alignment. Okay, and that's all the way through, back straight. And what you want to do is you want to drive through your glutes, through your legs, through your quads, your hamstrings, down, all the way down, drive through your heels. So you're pushing your heels into the floor, keeping your feet flat. When you lift that bar, you're just maintaining that power, just driving it up, pulling it up, pulling it up. Then at the top, you just want to pull that bar up, okay? And that is how you get a good deadlift. It's just basically neutral spine, back straight, head up, keep your eyes focused forward, feet like under the bar, keep that bar close to your legs as you can, drive through your glutes, through your hamstrings, through your quads, and driving down into your heels, keeping your feet flat, and just lift that bar. And remember to breathe. What a lot of
Yes.
people do, they hold the breath. Don't hold your breath. Breathe. Deep breath. Boom. Your breathing helps you so much.
That's
If you
the
can
truth. And
control
you
your
know,
breathing,
yeah.
you control your exercise.
There we go. Absolutely, I agree with you, Mark. The breathing is so important. You know, I don't know, there's a general misconception that if someone exercises and they are breathing hard, that they are unfit. That's not the truth. They are utilizing that breath to make the muscles work, to let the oxygen go to those muscles. So I don't see someone in the gym and hear them breathing hard and think, oh, that guy's not fit. No. He's using his breathing to get the maximum, exercise out of what he's doing at that point in time. Use your breathing. It is so, so important.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's like the training in I do. It's not just strength training. It's cardiovascular training. So obviously, me being in control of my breathing is so important. So like,
Yeah.
I might go from doing a run or doing an assault bike where I'm going to be
Yes.
quite out of breath by the time I finish to doing straight into a deadlift. So I've got to be able to jump off that bike or
Yeah.
jump or come off of that run and be able to control my breathing in such a way that I can then do a deadlift. So
Yes.
it's all about being in control of your breathing. If you're not in control of your breathing, when you can't breathe, you can't function.
That's it.
So you have to be able to control your breathing. Breathing is a big part. Being in control of that breathing, people take it for granted. And
That's the
like
truth.
you see people doing bench pressing and they're
Yeah.
holding the breath and they're just going red.
Yeah.
So important to breathe. So important. Breathing is so important.
Yeah. And there are loads and loads of exercises on YouTube for you to learn how to breathe in certain situations. So,
Yeah,
go and look it up. It's very, very
yeah.
important. People have done incredible things just by working on their breathing. So I thank you for that importation of knowledge. And I've got one more video where I believe you are sparring. So let's look at that video and then you can dissect it for us. There we go. Some training there. Tell us about that and why is it important to know what your trainer is expecting of you for the next move?
Okay, so this is a number of things. This is my trainer knows me, and I know him. So it's
Yes.
like I know combinations. So he has set combinations that he will do, set drills, and I've learnt those drills. And it's all about him knowing me and me knowing him, because when he says 1-2, I've got to know what that 1-2 means. So that 1-2 means for
Yes.
me might be jab cross, or
Yes.
when he holds up that lead pad and he says 2, I know it's a double jab.
Yes.
Okay, when he says like double jab right hand, I've got to know it's double jab right hand, boom. And it's sort of like we work together, so it's not choreographed, but
No.
when he shouts out certain commands, he might shout out 1-2. He might shout out double jab right hand or double jab hook. Lots of different things. He might say jab, cross, underneath, uppercut. There's
Look.
lots of different things, lots of different combinations, and over time we've built up so many of these combinations
Yeah.
that we just drill them and drill them and drill them. And I don't know what order he's gonna sort of throw him out, but I've just got to sort of react to it. So it's not about it being planned or choreographed. There's none of that there. It's purely just me sort of reacting to what he's saying. So when he says double jab right hand, slip right hand, okay, that means me double jab right hand, slip and sort of right hand. I've got to react to that. Because when he throws that punch, I've got to slip. Because if I don't slip, I'm gonna get hit.
Yes, you're gonna get hit hard. You don't want that.
Is quite a serious side to it. And not just that, it sharpens you up. It sharpens you up. So when you get in the ring and someone's throwing a punch or a kick, you can move. You don't need to always move backwards. You can move sideways. So it makes you sharp, but also pad work like that, it makes you very sort of like accurate too. So when them pads are there, boom, boom, it makes you accurate, and it also makes you fast. Because you've got to react to what you see, what's happening. And it's so important. But pad work can be used in so many different ways. It can be used for speed. So that clip there was speed and power. Say, I'm putting power sort of behind them punches, but it's also speed as well. So me sort of reacting to sort of what's happening. So when he said jab, cross, slip, right hand, boom, boom, slip, boom, and that right hand follows. So as soon as I slip, pad goes past me, boom, that right hand's there. And it's sort of reacting to sort of that situation that he would like put me in. And it's so important because it builds your speed, it builds your coordination, it builds your accuracy, it builds your footwork, it makes your footwork better. All these little things like spotting them certain movements. So when he throws that lead arm out and I've got to move, I've got to be able to see that before it gets there. Because when it's there, it's too late. I've been hit. So as soon as he moves his shoulder, I've got to see it, boom, and I move. And that pad work is so important because it builds all these things, and it also builds your confidence too. So speed, accuracy, timing, your awareness, your footwork, your power, everything. There's so much more to it than just hitting pads.
That's it.
And if you want to mix the pad work with something else, so like sort of sometimes we'll do pad work and then we'll do like assault bike and then we'll go back to pads. But if you've done something like an assault bike and then you go to pads, you're tired, your breathing's out. And this is where breathing again plays a big part. So when I'm totally out of breath, I've just finished that bike, my legs and my arms are feeling like lead. I've got to then be able to put my guard up when my arms are heavy. I've got to be able to move sort of my legs when my legs are heavy. And I can't breathe, so I've got to focus on my breathing because I know, Matt's going to throw out these different combinations, jab, cross, slip, right hand, jab, cross, slip, right hand, sort of left hook, all them different things. My footwork, my hand speed, my sort of reactions, my breathing, everything's got to be on point. So there's so much more to just hitting pads.
That's it. There's a lot of things before you get to that speed and that accuracy that you have to first learn and train. The dynamics, the mechanics, how it works, keeping your hand up when your other hand is out. Lots of things, your footwork, breaking the line, your breathing before, during, and after. So thank you so much, Mark. It was such a lovely session. And as always, my brother, my friend, we had a good time. Us, thank you for that.
Big shout out to a few people. Big shout out to my good friend, John Stevenson.
Yay!
What this guy is a great guy. He's a good friend of mine. He's done some amazing
Absolutely.
books. Legends Legacy 1. I know he's working on a new book right now.
Yes.
He's done so many books for so many people. This guy is an absolutely amazing person. He's done some absolutely fantastic books. John, it's a privilege and an honour. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Grandmaster Gary Wozniewski. He's my grandmaster. I've been with Grandmaster Gary now for about 10 years. And he's a true gentleman. He's not just my sort of grandmaster, but he's also a good friend. So yeah, thank you so much. It's a privilege and an honour. And also a big shout out to Matthew Woolley from MW Fitness, who's my PT. Again, guy is amazing PT. I love being trained by him. Every training session is different. So I really enjoy it. Won't change it for nothing. So a big shout out to him. Again, it's a privilege, it's an honour. I'm so grateful for all these amazing people. And I'm so grateful for everybody that's been a part of my journey. Those people know who they are. There's so many of them. For me to go through names, I'd be here till midnight.
That's it.
Yeah, thank you for everybody that supported me, everybody that continues to support me. It means a lot. I love you all, and it's a privilege and it's a blessing and it's an honour. And also, I just want to say thank you to yourself. Thank you for having me on your show once again. It's always a privilege. It's a blessing. Thank you so much. You're such a nice person. You're so kind. And I'm privileged and I'm honoured to know you. Thank you so much indeed. So thank you, everybody. I love you all. Take care. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed week. A blessed weekend. Have a blessed life. Remember what I said in my last video. You only live once. You get one shot at life. Go live it. Do your best and don't look back. Awesome. Thank you so much. I love you all.
Oh, thank you, brother. You're a wonderful friend. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a great guest. Meticulous Moments audience, we are going to be back tomorrow with yet another interview. Mark and I are going to jump into a recording now. He's going to do some weapons training for my Meticulous Martial Arts Mastermind group. So we'll see you again tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye, Mark. See you.
Bye.
Bye.